Welcome to, or welcome back, to the Ardent Gunner. For those of you stopping by for the first time today, thanks for clicking on the video, and I hope you enjoy it. And to those who have been here before, thank you for returning. Today we're looking at the Crasville Battery in the vicinity of Utah Beach, a location I've been lucky enough to visit in the past few weeks. Several elements of this battery will be of interest to any professional artillery officer or soldier, as well as to those who take a wider interest in military history. Having not done an exact count of the number of fortified battery positions around Normandy, my guess is there is tens, if not hundreds, of these positions, and there were certainly hundreds of batteries located in Normandy at the time, whether reinforced as coastal defence batteries or simply dug in supporting the infantry and armoured elements of the German army on the morning of D-Day. And my intention is to do a deeper dive into those gun positions around Utah Beach in particular, just to show the density of the fire that they could bring to bear against any Allied landing in the area. But that will be for another time. For now, let's turn our attention to the Crasville Battery. On the 23rd of March 1942, Adolf Hitler issued Führer Directive No. 40, directing the creation of an Atlantic Wall. Over the next 2 years, this would grow to a significant line of fortifications and other defensive works, with its genesis in counteracting the action of commando forces, especially around the Channel Islands, in 1940 and 1941. It would soon be refocused towards defeating a full Allied invasion force. Clearly, this wouldn't be the Ardent Gunner without a focus on the artillery here, and that is what we will be doing today. The Germans had developed a standardised system of fortification building through the 1930s and early 40s, termed Regelbau, literally standardised construction. Several of these bunker designs were built to house artillery of various types. Across much of Normandy, the remnants of these can still be seen, with several of the old batteries having been converted into museums, such as those of the famous Merville and Pointe batteries, or the less well-known Crasville and Crasville batteries near Utah Beach. Many more have been incorporated into the French countryside, most notably the Montfleury battery opposite Gold Beach, whose forward positions would be attacked single-handedly by Company Sergeant Major Stanley Hollis, D Company, 6th Battalion Royal Green Jackets, on the morning of 6th of June 1944. He would capture 30 Germans, having put the position out of action, the first of 2 actions that day that resulted in him being awarded the Victoria Cross. Here you can see photos of the old gun positions still in place, with the bunkers Hollis attacked now part of a housing estate to their north. The vast majority of these batteries have been left in place. The reinforced concrete emplacements are far too extensive to remove, and farmers simply work around them, and builders simply build around them. To give you a feel for what these batteries feel like now, and what they might have felt like, I visited the Crasville Battery in the vicinity of Utah Beach. Known as STP-142 to the Germans, it was built with 2 Regelbau H671 type bunkers and 2 Regelbau H650 type bunkers to house the 4 guns of the battery. Alongside these, there are multiple other smaller emplacements built for command posts, ammunition storage, and an anti-aircraft position. This battery was manned by soldiers and officers of 5th Battery, 2nd Battalion, 1261 Coastal Artillery Regiment, and was commanded by Oberlieutenant Franz Kerber. It was comprised of 4 10.5cm K331s, captured French artillery pieces that, having been picked up in 1940, were repurposed for coastal defence. Here you can see a schematic of the H650 bunker, the larger of the 2 types at the Crasville Battery. Alongside the magazine compartments, numbered 5 and 6, and the gun room, This design also included several features for enhanced local defence. You'll see at the top of the picture, around number 2, is a gun port which looks down the back of the bunker, and which we will see in the video shortly. And you'll see at point 7 an observation cupola called a Tobruk, the typical name for the German designed observation bunkers of many different types and sizes, but they all followed a similar pattern and design, namely a cupola in which could fit a sentry, normally with a machine gun post. And here you can see the smaller H671 type bunkers, which really was just the gun room and then 2 separate rooms storing shells and cartridges with a door to the rear. So not nearly as significant. And in the case of the Crasville batteries, this design was used for the 2 central bunkers, and it was the 2 flanking bunkers that would be the larger, more defendable H650 types. A decision, I would suggest, that makes perfect sense if you're trying to make efficient use of the materials you've got and the effort required to produce a well-defended gun position. So, what does the area look like today? Well, as you can see, this is the southern gun position. That's an H650 bunker there, now in a field with a couple of friendly ponies. That's out towards Utah Beach. And then as we look back down the gun position, you can see the other 3 bunkers there. They're all orientated directly east. In the foreground are the 2 H671 bunkers, the smaller of the 2 types. And then at the far right there, you can see the larger H650 bunker that would have been the northern flank of this gun position. And this is a sort of closer video of that position. You can see the front gun room there. The concrete now cracked, but still very much giving an idea of what it would have looked like. And then if we walk around to the rear of the gun position, you can see now as I approach, there's the gun port that covers the rear. And then this would have been one of the doors that would have led into the crew compartment there, and into that stag position from which you could watch the rear of your gun position. Along that door on the right now, that would be the other door into the magazine area. And then the final door would lead to some steps which would take you up into the Tobruk, into the observation post, which you can see up here. You can see that little pipe at the top would have been used for speaking down into the bunker. Now as we head back round, back past would have been the covering position there. You head back round, and now you can see the next gun position, next bunker right just to my front there, but you'll see right in the foreground here is a smaller concreted shelter, and this would have been one of what they believe were 2 ammunition shelters. So not only would you have been storing ammunition in each bunker with each gun, but you'd have had separate larger ammunition storage compartments outside as well to store up as much ammunition as you needed for the fighting ahead. Then we take a quick closer look at the H671 type bunkers here with what looks like a sort of model US 105mm gun. You'll see out in the fields there that there's what they believe to be one of the smaller stag positions, maybe an anti-aircraft position, something like that, certainly a machine gun post. I decided to pick up all this battle damage that it picked up on the side there. Those larger round impacts. Certainly a heavy machine gun or potentially some sort of cannon fire, but pretty significant. And this around the back of it, so much smaller, but still a significant block, and certainly would have protected its crew well. This last one was in pretty good shape as well, actually. Although it did have a whole load of metal tank traps where a mighty artillery piece should have been. You'll see that hook just along the top of the sort of gun emplacement there. That would have been used to help lever out the barrel from the carriage that would have been fitted properly into the bunker, so you could change the barrels easily when you needed, or certainly more easily. And then that's that H650, and you see our focus in here on the Torbruck for that one, the observation cupola. You can see that, the sort of rounded bit at the top, just below the tree line. And that is the Crasville Battery today, or certainly the gun positions. There's some interesting smaller stuff still around the back. So as you can see, these were significant fortifications designed to provide excellent cover to the crew, the gun, and its ammunition. The Germans envisaged these would be used to defend against Allied shipping in the case of a landing, as the primary purpose. Following the successful actions on Utah Beach by the US Army, the vast majority of these batteries were abandoned, with the guns being returned to their cradles and taken north for the defence of Cherbourg. The US 7th Corps, led by Major General Lawton Collins, would capture Cherbourg, the remaining German forces, and these batteries over the next couple of weeks. A pretty dismal end to what appeared to be a fearsome defensive force. The guns may be gone, but the bunkers remain, a testament to their German designers and a fitting monument to the American forces who liberated the peninsula. That's all for today. Thank you for stopping by, and if you've enjoyed this content, it would be superb if you'd like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, this has been the Ardent Gunner, and thank you for watching.